Wertan, and I'm the Outreach Manager at the Augusta Public Library. So what I do, I go out into the community, I promote literacy, I'm outside the library's walls, and I'm also the bookmobile librarian. So if you see me around, wave at me. The book I chose is The Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lesmore. Try to say that 3 times fast. One of the reasons why I chose this book is because it's a book about books, it's a book about learning, and it's a book about imagination. All right, today we're actually going to be reading this book. So let me open it up. It's a library book, so it's been patched. You can see that. This is the title page, The Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lesmore. Morris Lesmore loved words. He loved stories. He loved books. His life was a book of his own writing, one orderly page after another. He would open it every morning and write all of his joys and sorrows, all that he knew and everything that he hoped for. But every story has its upsets. One day the sky darkened, the winds blew and blew, till everything Morris knew was scattered, even the words of his book. He didn't know what to do or which way to go, so he began to wander and wander. Then a happy bit of happenstance came his way. Rather than looking down, as he had become habit, Morris Lesmore looked up. Drifting through the sky above him, Morris saw a lovely lady. She was being pulled along by a festive squadron of flying books. Morris wondered if his book could fly, but it couldn't. It only fell to the ground with a depressing thud. The flying lady knew Morris simply needed a good story, so she sent him to her favorite. The book was an amiable fellow and urged Morris to follow him. And what book do you think that is? The book led to an extraordinary building where many books apparently nested. Morris slowly walked around inside and discovered the most mysterious and inviting room he had ever seen. It was filled with the fluttering of countless pages, and Morris could hear the faint clatter of 1,000 different stories, as if each book was whispering an invitation to adventure. Then his new friend flew up to him and landed on his arm. It held himself open, and as if hoping to be read, the room rustled to life, and so Morris's life among books began. Morris tried to keep the books in some sort of order, but they always got mixed up. The tragedies needed to be cheered up and would visit the comedies. The encyclopedias, weary of facts, would relax with the comic books and fictions. All of it was an agreeable jumble. Morris found great satisfaction in caring for the books, greatly fixing those with fragile bindings and unfolding the dog-eared pages of others. Sometimes Morris would become lost in a book and scarcely emerge for days. See, he's flying on the words. Morris liked to share the books with others. Sometimes it was a favorite that everyone loved, and other times he found a lonely little volume whose tale was seldom told. Everyone's story matters, said Morris, and all the books agreed. At night, after all the stories needed a little telling and had been told, and everyone settled down to their proper places on the shelves, the great big dictionary would get in the last word. Zzz. It was that Morris Lesmore would once again write in his own book. He wrote of his joys and sorrows, all that he knew, and everything that he had hoped for. The days passed, so did the months. And then the years and years. And Morris Lesmore became stooped and crickly, but the books never changed. Their stories stayed the same. Now his old friends took care of him the way he had once cared for them, and they read themselves to him each night. Then one day he filled the last page in his book. He looked up and said with a bittersweet sigh, "I guess it's time for me to move on." The books were sorry, but they understood. Morris put his hat and took his cane. As he went to the door, he turned and smiled, then waved goodbye. "I'll carry you all in here," he said, and pointed at his heart. The books waved their pages, and Morris Lesmore flew away. And as he flew, he changed back to the way he had been that long day ago when they had all first met. The books were quiet for a while. Then they noticed that Morris Lesmore had left something behind. "It's his book," the oldest friend said. Inside was Morris's story, and all of his joys, all that he knew, and everything that he had hoped for. The books heard a small, expectant sound. There in the doorway was a little girl. She looked around with wonder. Then something fantastic happened. Morris Lesmore's book flew up to her and opened its pages. The girl began to read, and so our story ends as it began, with the opening of a book. The end. So, Roary, what was your reaction to the book? Oh my goodness, 10 out of 10. So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about this book. So it's about a man, and he loves words, but he doesn't really know what to do. And then he goes into this magical world where books can talk and where he can take care of books. And that's one of the things about imagination, is that you can fly away on words, and you can fly away on ideas. So that's one of the reasons why I love this book, and one of the reasons why it is my favorite. And I personally own a copy of this book because I love it so much. So remember, children, just like Mr. Morris Lesmore, you can love stories and be carried away and use your imagination. And remember, keep reading with Roary.